Hi, it's Loan from Google Tech. As you know from my channel, I spend time on making things. You can see different kinds of projects from mechatronic toys, board games, or even furniture. 30% of my project relate to reverse engineering, which means recreating 3D models from those broken or discontinued parts. So in order to do all that, I need a good CAD software to help me create 3D models. I used to work with those professional ones like SolidWorks, Inventor, or Pro-E for my jobs before I started Google Tech. Those are professional choices with a high price tag, which makes them less accessible to DIYers. I did search around and try a variety of free software, for example, Tinkercad, Fusion 360, FreeCAD, OpenSCAD, and Blender. Yeah, you heard it right. I said Blender, even though it's not a real CAD software. I combined them to achieve what could not be done by each of them alone. In my experience, the first software you learn is very important. It can help you to speed up your design progress and create exactly what you plan to, or it can discourage you from continuing what you're doing. Among those free software that I said, FreeCAD is a decent one. Its Workbenches is very similar to those professional CAD software. That's the reason why I want to introduce FreeCAD to you through a series of tutorials. We could start with the very simple one of this Soma Cube toys. For absolutely beginner, then we can go on with this decoration lamp. I hope by then you could understand the basic concept of 3D modeling. So if you just get your 3D printer and you love to have the joy of creating your own model, you can hit on the subscribe button and start your journey with FreeCAD. First of all, we need to download the FreeCAD software. For the one who never used it before, you can go to the FreeCAD website and click on download now. You choose what version that fits with your operating system. I'm using Linux right now, so I can download this app easily. You can also download the Windows installer or the one for Mac. So that's it done for installing. So now we need to learn that after we install the software, there's some setting that we should do it. But first I want to talk about for the one that use Linux only, to make its app image auto run, you can go to the here property to make it like executable. You can just go to permission and tick on this allow executing file at program so that it can run at the program here right now. So I can then double click on it and it start. So okay, it's here. This is how it look in FreeCAD. Okay, for let's create a new one. For movement inside here, you have different kind of way to move thing around, right? You can choose it's like the mouse click movement, like Blender, CAD, or gestures. I usually use both gesture and Blender, but gesture is much more easy. So you go here with gestures. Let me show you how it works. This is the Soma Cube that we keep talking about. With gestures, so that when you left click and rotate, it's rotating. Left button is rotatable. Scrolling for zooming, and right smart button is for moving. So yeah, that's what it is. It's okay. So that is how we install FreeCAD, and also how we can set up the beginning movement. You can choose different theme for the FreeCAD. For example, you can go to setting or reference right here. You can choose the theme in the display what you want. For example, I choose style behave dark because I dark, but you can also, they have different setting right here. Anyway, so that is all about how to quickly install FreeCAD and also setting for your movement around with your mouse. Now let's look at the example of today. We're gonna do this Soma Cube. Why did I choose it? Because it's a super super simple for this very beginner example. Like you can see here, and you see in my the beginning of the video, it's just it's polycube together. So it's like they have 7 of them to create a Soma cube, and 6 of them are with in order of 4 cube together, and only one that in order of 3, like you can see here. So yeah, that is about the Soma cube. Each of them have the name actually. So the first 4 is easy because it shows with the shape of the cube, like V, T, V, L, T, and Z. Like you can see here, Z, T, let's see, V and L. The other 2 cube that in a like kind of the mirror of each other is this and this. They call it A and B. And then you have P is the for this one is short for pyramid. So yeah, that you have the name of all of them. Now let's go to the thing here to see how does it look. So this is the cube that you after I solved the puzzle. Of course, this is just one of the 240 solutions. So if you can detach it, you can slide this. You can attach it into one cube, and this is how you put them in different solutions. So this is very simple example that we can try to do to start to understand FreeCAD. And they are like, let's say Anna put them in 2 different categories. The first, these 4, sorry, the L, V, Z, and T, they are simpler. So we can start with that first. Then we can work with the rest of them. Okay, so from FreeCAD now, the most easy one is the V. Okay, so we can to draw the V first. Okay, there are 2 workbenches that can create geometry. Okay, there are many, but the main that people use to create 3D model is Park Design and Park. With the Park, they design in like they have basic cube, and then they try to add and remove them to create the geometry that they want. That's one way of geometry modeling. The other way that I usually use, and it was used with all others, most of other software, the professional one, is that they use the idea of sketch, like they sketch them in 2D, and then they can add up the geometry by extrude or cut it geometry away based on those 2D sketch, and then you develop into 3D. So I will talk about it because it's the way people do with all other professional software. So into Park Design, do you have idea, like first we always have to create like a sketch and then roll that sketch. If you look at that model that we all have over here, it's pretty simple. Okay, let me just move this out for you easy to see. Okay, in this one. Okay. And I say the V is the most simple because as you see here, it's just 3 cubes that all go together. And you see, if you draw a sketch of like this shape, and then we can extrude it, mean that you push it in the height of this height, then you can easily create this shape. So let's go to here. In from Park Design, you can start it with sketch, and you choose the surface that you want to put it on. Usually you have 2-man surface and 1 sketch plan that usually go with is at the top where you look it down, so that it means that you add the height up high like this, or you sketch it on the front when you extrude it to the back. Look at our piece here. If we're gonna draw it, this one, okay, here. Okay, so if you want to draw it from the top down, okay, this is the bottom, but if it's the same way from the top, like this, it's gonna be this kind of shape, right? And then we extrude it down. Let's go to FreeCAD here. I choose the top, or the bottom is a good start. And go to here. In here, we need to create that V shape, right? So there's different kind of, either you can use one line segment only, or you can use a polyline, which both using polyline is good for the choice. Then you can just need to draw that shape, right? It's more or less like this. Because the dimension you can set it up later, so it doesn't need to be like exact right at the moment. Okay, so now we have more or less this shape. The thing is, we want, they are the polycube, right? So it should be each of these eggs, this, and this one had to be equal. So to set that constraint, those constraint in Sketch, basically you go from here, you choose all of them, okay, that you want them to be equal, and then set the constraint. Here the selection of constraint here, and we want them to be equal. So now if they're all equal, but we don't know how much each of them, right? For 3D printing, you need to fit to your size, and you know that more than these four are equal, but you don't know how much each of them. So we just need to set one of them, dimension for one of them now. So I used to put it 20 to fit like same material. So here you see that after I select the thing, set the dimension, it becomes green because now they are fixed. When a geometry or 2D is fixed in the sketch, mean that they are fully constrained. You see here it said fully constrained, mean that you cannot move them with their own fixed. So this is a good, if you want a sketch to be easy to extrude, I think it has to be fully constrained. Sometimes like you not fully constrained, it still work. It still works, but better to have it fully constrained so that your geometry is not jumping around. So with the sketch is done, okay, what we need to do now, we need to extrude it with to make it into 3D. So you have different choices for extrude. Today I different choices for the creating part, but today we talk about very basic of it, the extrude. Okay, in SolidWorks they call it extrude, but here they call it pass. You pass something up. Here we're gonna add the thickness of it. Okay, the other we choose 20, so we can add also 20, so it becomes a square cube, because basically this block is a polycube. Here, so we can just choose the path option, and then length. Here we choose 20. That's how you have the cube right in the other one. Here, like you can see this shape here we have here. So that's it done. You create your first drawing in FreeCAD. I'm gonna save it at the name of the V shape. Okay, so we're done with it. Save it. I'm gonna create a folder name V. Now open it. We not save it, or wait, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna name it V. Okay, because of the shape. Save. So this is how we create the V. Now let's look back here. Let's look at all of our easy cube right here, so that we can create things. Let's say talking about this one. Move it here. So these are all simple cubes that we have. Okay. And then we have this one. So this I should put them into two different groups. That's easier for to do. So okay, here this one, I want to turn them in a way that it's easier for you to see. Okay. Okay, you can use this to orientate the print also. The shape on the sorry the view right now. So I can put it up here. Okay. So I put them in two different groups. This group is a little bit more complicated than compared to this one. This one you should sketch in one surface and you should part it up. So now let's go for sure to from here to here. You can do this one. Let's try with the T one right now. So can just new one and we create a T. Again, go to the top and from part design workbench to go to sketch, create sketch, and you choose the stop surface. Now from here we're gonna use the same tool that we use, create polyline. Okay, you can choose option to put the launch edge of the T on the bottom or put on the top. I prefer just on the bottom so it's easier here. This is I just only set up the T. Okay. In the previous example, I didn't talk about this much because when you stretch it down more or less vertical or horizontal, they're gonna set it on its own, but I go too far, so it doesn't set it at vertical, but also a good time for me to show you how to set that constraint. We want this to be vertical, right? So you can just select on this, one. So let's get this out of the polyline here. Okay, it's out of that one, and now we select the one here that didn't have the setup vertical. We go to here, so either you can vertically or you can generate V is forward. Let me see. Okay, so as I said before, they are polycubes, so you have to be equal in many. One of the edge should be equal, right? So here, 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 and here, and also even here. We want them to be equal, so you select them all and then constraint equal or that, or you can just E. Okay, and I say again, we have their own setup equal, but we don't have the exact length of them, so we need to add the length. There are two ways to add length in FreeCAD, either vertical or horizontal. Not two ways, but many ways. That like the two many vertical and horizontal. You also have constant distance, which is the distance between 2 points, and diameter, but we'll talk about it later. Let's say about the vertical distance here. We want it to be equal to all of the other things that we already said, so it should be 20, right? Here you have the cube of 20. Now we're done with the sketch, and you see it already fully constrained, so we can close it and go add it to path. Okay, like this, and here in path we want to put 20. Okay, so now let's look at 0. So it's gonna be look like this, should be the T, and I will save it at T. Okay, done. So that is V and T. We have been done V, T. So what have left is the Z and the L, and you could try to do it yourself as an exercise. And we come to the next week. We're gonna continue with making the cube with a little bit more complicated. Like it's not only 2D, but you also add another part up here to make it pop out the surface like this. Okay, but just for now, try to make the Z and the L, and then I can see you in the next video.